Do you ever think about what you would do if you won the lottery? I do. I don't even play the lottery, and I think about it. Let me ask you a question. If you ever won the lottery, how many of you would quit your job? Okay. I saw a few hands go up. Second question. How many of you would not only quit your job, but it would be the first thing you would do? Okay. One more question. One more question. How many of you would not only quit your job and it would be the first thing you would do, but the best part of it would be that you finally got to say something to one person in particular? Right? Now you all want to quit. I get it. Like, I'm actually happy where I work now, but I've had some bad jobs working with some bad people. So let me run this by you. For the people that said yes, is this close at all? You'd win the lottery, and you'd go to your work for the last time. You'd find that person, and you'd say, you know, I've been waiting for years to tell you to fuck off. Nobody here likes you. You're the reason we have so much turnover. Your kids are even uglier than your wife. Is that pretty close? I get it. Believe me, I get it. But if you ever win the lottery, let me implore you not to go down that path. Because as good as that would feel, it would also be kind of selfish. Because your coworkers, your former coworkers, are still going to have to work with that person. And they're probably going to be even harder to deal with, at least in the short term, right? There's a much better thing you could do if you won the lottery. If you won the lottery, here's what you do. You pay a scientist to design and build a time machine for you. Then you travel back in time, find the person that started the company you work for, and murder him. Oh, I'm sorry. Murder him or her. Sorry. But if you murder them before they can actually start the company, then the company will never exist, and neither you nor any of your coworkers will ever become its victims. You'll all have different jobs, including that person you want to tell to fuck off. Incidentally, thinking back several years, the person that I really wanted to tell to fuck off, if our company that we worked for never existed, I think his job would be that he would be at the carnival biting the heads off chickens. But I digress. The point is, if you don't like your job and you ever win the lottery, traveling back through time and murdering the founder of your company is the right thing to do. The ethical thing to do. It's what Mother Teresa would want you to do. You notice people don't mention Mother Teresa that much anymore. I want to boost her signal a little. But I've always loved the concept of the time machine, just in general. In fact, if I had to choose between winning the lottery but not having a time machine versus being my regular broke-ass self but having a time machine, I would become a broke-ass time traveler. I don't really care about the future. But I would love to go back to the past because I love history. You know, if I had a time machine, I could travel to any historical era all the way back. You know where I'd go first? 2016. That would be the first historical era I would want to visit because I would want to have the distinction of being the first person to ever explain to an internet troll that they're allowed to vote for president. And it's not like I would be changing history. They already figured it out without me, right? I don't know why. I just think that would be funny. I would travel back to 2016, go down into that guy's parents' basement, and say, "Greetings, internet troll! I am a time traveler from the future, and I'm here to tell you that you, yes you, can vote for president." You'd be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm talking about you can vote for president. Since when? Since always. You're over the age of 18. You're a U.S. citizen, and you're not a convicted felon. You can vote for president. Wait a minute. You're telling me that I could have voted in every presidential election since I became an adult? Adult is a strong word, but yes, ever since you turned 18, you could have been voting for president. Imagine this dude's reaction. He'd be like, "My God, all these years I've just been making racist and homophobic comments on YouTube videos, and yes, it's been a full life, but this is something I could do out there in the real world. Up until now, the only thing I've ever done in the real world is walk into a public restroom and piss on the toilet seat. But this would be like pissing on everybody's toilet seat at the same time. It would be like America had one giant toilet seat for me to piss on." Oh, thank you, time traveler from the future. Thank you. Now get out of my parents' basement. You're totally gay.
That part. That part.
Maybe it's just me, but that would be a fun day for me. And then I would come back to the present and maybe discover that I had changed history a little bit for the worse. And then I would say to myself, why? Why did you feel the compulsion to do that? And I'd look at myself in the mirror and say, you know, I've been waiting for years to tell you to fuck off. Thank you.